Hey guys, Allie here tonight. So I'm reading a book. I love to read. I love to read all types of things, but this book, and some of you might be familiar with it, Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Nguyen. I'm sorry if I botched up that last name. I did the best I could. Anyway, there are so many wonderful nuggets in this book. Pretty much everything resonates with me. Like I like to say in all my videos, find out what resonates for you and take that. And if something doesn't, then just leave it behind. It's not for you. But this is about the how, guys. We determine what we want and then letting go of the how, because the how is what trips a lot of us up. The how is what we start to try to figure out with our limited, finite mind, trying to figure out something which only the infinite part of us can really know, because it has access to the infinite possibilities, how something can come about and be manifested. If we work with just our finite mind, we cut off a lot of opportunities for things to come through to us, because it's only working from what it knows and has experienced. It can't pull, a finite mind cannot pull from the greater, the all that is. So we want to be, we're directly connected, but we want to be pulling from our intelligence, our divine intelligence, when we're doing the how. That's how it comes through us. And it comes through very naturally. So I'm going to read a couple of things in this book because I just think they're that so good. Okay, so although we can't control many things, we can have a say in what we want in our lives, but not necessarily the how. For instance, we have the gift of imagination, access to infinite intelligence, which means we can come up with anything that we want in our lives. This is an amazing blessing, but things can go sour when we think we need to figure out the how to make it happen. At this point, most people give up or continue down the path of brute force to try to bring it to life and suffer daily for it. I'll input here. When we are trying to figure out how to bring something about, we figured out what we want, or we're not just resting in the end, we're staying in the middle of it. We're trying to figure out, how do I bring this about? You will suffer. It is frustrating trying to figure out how to bring this forth. That's because there's an easier way. And that's just directly through your connection to all that is, the universe, God, source. Will come through very naturally. Your mind does not need to worry about it. Your mind will be used to take action on what it receives from your infinite intelligence or intuition. There's all kinds of different things I use interchangeably here, guys. Okay, so I just want to keep on doing this for a second. Okay. This is why people believe we must suffer for what we want. That is not true. It is only true if we think we must figure out the how to get what we want. Our job is determining what we want. Key, guys, are to determine what you want, not how to get it. The how is really up to the universe. This is the best case scenario anyway, because there are infinite number of ways to bring about what you want in life. So for our little finite brains to figure it out would be futile nonetheless. And as I said before, it doesn't open you to all the infinite possibilities, because you're using a finite piece of yourself, and that's your mind. And there's much more. There's connection to all that is, and that's a much easier way to bring it in. We only suffer when we try to figure it all out, but we don't have to. This is when we want to rely on our intuition and inner wisdom to help show us exactly what we need to do in real time to manifest what we want. There's no need to try to figure it out all in advance. Okay, I have found myself trying to do this many, many times, and actually recently as well. It is so frustrating. I'll see what I want, and I am just like, going in my mind, trying to figure out every little way of how to get from here to there. And since I'm mainly in my mind and I'm not allowing the all that is to really come through, because I'm so caught up in the thinking about it, and the thinking and how that I have to figure it out, that I was suffering, and it causes suffering, and it causes frustration, and it's not needed, because you just need to let that part go. It will come through naturally. So there's no need to figure it all out in advance. Okay, our part is to hold on into our minds what we want and get into a state of non-thinking. This enables us to access our infinite intelligence, or God, so that the answers are revealed to us exactly when we need them. The path forward is only revealed when we begin walking. There's never going to be a time when the entire path is illuminated for us to see beforehand, because there are infinite ways our desires can manifest. Yeah, our minds, and like I said, I can relate to this so well, want to see how this is all going to happen. How is this going to come about? That's not its job. And only is it not its job, it's not fit to be able to answer all those questions. It's way beyond the mind. But the other thing is how boring would that be if everything was just exactly laid out, exactly how it's going to happen, and we could just see it in advance? I mean, that would be super boring. I know we think that's what we want, but in reality, what if that was life? Like, oh, I want this, and now I see exactly how I'm going to get from A to B. I mean, that is so boring. I can't imagine that there would be any thrill in it. I mean, there's the part that's so thrilling and fun is when you're trusting and you're residing in your desired end and trusting that it's all unfolding from minute to minute, and you're just allowing that source to come through you to direct you. It's the journey. When we say we make a fit about the journey, but the journey is like so fun when we start to see things come about and things are starting to change and starting to manifest. I mean, and seeing our desires come into our 3D reality, it is really, really exciting. I don't think there can be something as exciting as that. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. So no, I would never want to see the whole route laid out ahead of time every time I thought about a desire. I would think that would be the most boring thing. I'd be like, what's the purpose? Anyway, that's just my thoughts, guys. Okay. We must have complete unwavering faith that what we want to create will come to us, and we can only do this by fully trusting in the universe to orchestrate how it will happen. We can always get what we desire in life. Yes. It just may be different from our timeline or how we want it to manifest. Now, when he says timeline, I believe everything can be instant. I mean, everything's created right now, but timeline means in us identifying with that desire and how often are we residing in that state. It's all up to us how quick, or, if it takes a little bit longer for things to manifest. I believe that everything happens in perfect timing and it's all perfect as it unfolds. But if you are sitting in that desired end and you are resting in that faith, I believe things can come around just like that. It's all about who we're being, and if we're choosing to be that person, the majority as we go throughout our day. So, there's so much more. I would really like to read more, but I don't want to just keep going and going on this tonight, but there's still some nuggets that I'd like to pull out, but I think that was the main point of the how. So guys, we often get frustrated when we start to try to think about the how, and that's because we can't really figure it out. We might have an idea, we might be able to put together some pieces. Well, I could see it coming around this way or that way. Yes, we can do that. We might see that, but there might be a way that could come in from out of left field that we would never, ever, ever have, thought about, but it could come through when we're aligned with the all that is, the divine intelligence, our intuition. When we're aligned with that and we receive that and we let that in, it could come in from just out of left field. And that is how it's supposed to come in, because what happens is if we try to determine the how and we think, okay, these are like 2-3 ways that this could come about. Our mind thinks that. And that's what it's looking for. It's in the everyday looking to see that those paths are starting to manifest, but you're not seeing that. And so then it starts doubting. Well, the reason why that's so frustrating is because first the mind has picked out a couple of ways it thinks it can happen, and it's not open to other things. It can't see those. There are things that are just beyond it. And if it doesn't see those, then it starts to doubt. So that's why you don't want to just sit in the mind and try to figure out the ways how it could happen. Because like I said, it could come in from a totally different area in a totally different way that your mind could have never really processed that it could come through that way. And you're looking in this other direction and you're starting to doubt and worry, why isn't it coming in? When in reality, you're blocking things because you're so focused on this finite way that it could come in, instead of being present, having faith and trust and knowing and staying present in the moment, and to allow this intuition, this greater intelligence to come through you, to guide you, then you will be open to receive all the different ways that it could come in. You're not going to be closed off and focused on one or two ways that you think it can come in. You're open, you're receptive, you're present, you're able to act when something comes through, you know, a spontaneous inspiration and things like that. So it's so key to be open and present and trust and know and keep your mind and heart and everything focused on your desired end, and then be present throughout your day as you're going throughout your day, and open into receiving guidance and knowing that it's unfolding in every moment, no matter if you think you can see something or not, or imagine how, you know, it could come in or not. It doesn't matter. Just know that it will in its own perfect way. If you just allow it, stay open, be present, and reside in the desired end state, and then go about your day. So, okay, guys, that's it for tonight. I might pull more from this book because there's so much good stuff. But I just really like to share stuff that I think is just such a big help to people. And I found a lot of stuff in this book a huge help. So I highly recommend it if you haven't read it. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you had a wonderful day, or are going to have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.